Church Tech Today. I'm here with Chris Greene from DialMyCalls, who is one of our fabulous site sponsors. DialMyCalls is a communication company. Chris, welcome to, this is actually our first hangout, a Q&A with a sponsor to kind of launch DialMyCalls and help more churches understand what you guys do.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to share what we can do.
Thanks, Chris.
What we do is we provide a way for a church or other organization to easily communicate with large groups of people, letting them have an opportunity to share news or information, emergency notifications as quickly as possible with as many people as they need to.
Well, that's great. And you guys work with a lot of churches and nonprofits and schools, I'm assuming.
We do. Thousands of church customers, nonprofit organizations. Communication is critical, and a lot of times time is very short, so we provide a great way and a great means to accomplish that.
Oh, great. So what are some of the features, and how does it work? Do they sign on? Is there like a free trial where they can get a taste of how it works, and then do they log in and decide what communication methods they want to use?
Sure. What they can do, DialMyCalls is very easy to use. It's web-based, so you can access it from any web-based computer. What they would do is they would sign up for an account, and they would either go with a credits plan where they buy credits, or go with a monthly plan depending on their needs. And that's something we can easily help them to determine what fits their needs the best. But for the most part, they set up their account, putting their contacts in, and can record a message and send that out by phone call, or type a message, and it'll actually read the message for them by phone call. And of course, text messaging, which I know a lot of people like and use frequently as well.
Oh, great. And then I know the service that my kid's school uses, they send a voicemail, and then an email follows up with like a voice recording, and then also the email text can be included in that as well. Do you offer the kind of dual functionality of the messaging?
Sure. A lot of times people like to send just a phone call or just a text message, but sometimes they like to do a couple different ways just to make sure that they're covered. With DialMyCalls, you can send out a phone call, and when you send that, you can also send it at no additional cost to send an email to those recipients so that they get the phone call on their home phone or their cell phone. But they can also set up an email where they get a link, and they can actually listen to the message through their computer by clicking the link and hearing the message. Same with the text messaging. So they would get that text message sent to them in their inbox for them to read it there as well as on their cell phone. What's nice is we also help them to promote that by social media. So once you're done setting up your call broadcast, you can then send it by Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So your recipients that you would post it maybe on your own web page or Facebook page or LinkedIn or what have you, they can click the link and hear the message through the computer that way, or through their inbox.
Oh, that's great. I actually just was having a conversation with our youth pastor at church yesterday about kind of the various needs of communication. It's definitely not easy, especially with so many different ways people communicate, and some people don't like email at all, some people don't have a home phone, some people don't take a voice phone call anymore. So, I guess when you have all those different methods, you might be able to get maybe, 80 or 90% of everyone.
Well, that's a good point. A lot of churches, they have difficulty getting out information a lot of times because they're not sure how. They might do announcements from the pulpit. They might send out a bulletin in the mail. They might even use email or trying to pass along the word. One person calls another person and they pass things along. The problem with that is timing. A lot of times things happen in between services from Sunday to Sunday. So if there's an emergency or a cancellation or maybe even funeral notifications, a lot of churches use it to pass along who's sick or in the hospital, or if there's been a death, here's the funeral information. With DialMyCalls, you can easily create your message and broadcast it out pretty much in a matter of just a short minute or two. Mainly just by putting it together and getting it out. So it's very fast. I know churches that say, well, we use email. A lot of times when I talk with a lot of churches at conferences or just on the phone, they typically say their open rates are anywhere from 40 to 50% at best. So you're leaving out half your audience by sending out a message by email. And a lot of times people say, well, we never saw it. So with ours, people typically will answer their phone calls. I've even seen studies where with text messaging, people will open a text message and read it within the first 3 minutes of delivery. So it's a great way to communicate by phone call and text messaging over some of these other options that churches do.
That's great. And do you have a way of tracking the open rates of the different methods of communication within DialMyCalls?
Sure. We have great reporting. It'll show you when a call job goes out, it'll tell you who was called, whether they heard the message live, whether it went to answering machines or voicemail. If the phone was busy, it'll try any unanswered numbers up to 3 times. So it'll try the number, and then just like you would, if you called and said, oh, the number's busy, I'll try back in a little bit, DialMyCalls will then retry that number a second time and then a third time before giving up and saying, okay, we never got through because it was busy or is not connected. And then the reporting, you'll be able to see that, and you'll see who answered live, voicemail, and so on.
Okay.
And the same with the texting. You'll get a report showing if it was delivered or if it was a landline, if for some reason you have a landline as opposed to a cell phone.
Well, that's great. And it's because it's web-based, so if I'm like the church administrator or the youth pastor or the lead pastor or whoever's in charge of sending out these messages, you can have multiple people within one church, right, that can access this and send out messages for each of their demographic within the church, right? And then you can do that from any web connection. So you don't have to be in your church office. If the weather's bad, if you're canceling youth group, if you're canceling worship practice, you can do that from wherever you are with a Wi-Fi connection, right?
You're exactly right. The way our system is set up, you can access it from any web-based computer. We have mobile versions of our site, so a tablet or even a phone. We even have smartphone apps, so if you wanted to use it with an iPhone or an Android, you can download the free app, and very easy to use the app from wherever you are. And you know, things that are going on today with all the snowstorms, all the flooding, a lot of bad weather and things going on. It's tough to get out information in a quick and efficient manner and know that everyone was contacted. DialMyCalls doesn't forget to call people, doesn't miss someone in the list. If you have all the numbers in the contact list and you need to send out a message canceling something or there's an emergency, then we can easily get that information out there for you. And you know full well when it's done, even on the app, you get a good report showing who is contacted and how they get that message.
Wow, that sounds like a really comprehensive way to kind of hit a lot of areas of church communication within one application. So thanks so much for sharing, Chris. Any promotions or special offerings or free trials like that you want to share with our audience?
Sure. We always encourage people, if they're interested in trying out DialMyCalls, we have a way to try it out completely free. There's no obligation. You don't have to put any credit card information in or anything like that. So you can go to DialMyCalls.com and you can sign up for a free account. Churches get a nonprofit discount of 20%. So once you've signed up for an account, there's actually a promo code during sign up. You can use this, and I'll give it to you just for this this broadcast here. I have it's ChurchTechToday 50. So it's your website, ChurchTechToday. All 3 words are capitalized, and the number 50, and it's all one word. And that will get you set up with a 20% discount and also give you 50 credits to actually put some contacts in and try it out, and just like you bought them. So it's a great way to see how it would work. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always call me, and I'd love to talk with you and answer your questions. My number is 800-928-2086, extension 927, and you know, always more than happy to assist anyone that's looking into using our service.
Great, thank you so much, Chris. That's really generous of you to give us our own code with free credits, 50 free credits. That's really great. I'm going to tell my youth pastor about it because he's looking for a solution that's going to help him. Thanks so much, Chris. Merry Christmas to you. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Lauren, and thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great Christmas.